Hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, the Black Prion, and today we're going to be talking about the NFL and college football in that order. I know I haven't made a sports video on this channel, but I have in the past. But regardless, here we go. I am a Ravens fan, a diehard one at that. And I will tell you right now, last weekend was the worst officiating I've seen as a whole. Anybody who's watched any Eagles game or any Ravens game in the past 2 years could tell you that game was the worst piece of horse nut I have ever seen in my life. And I'll tell you why. First off, when a quarterback throws his arm like this and then the ball comes out, it's not a fumble. Look, I'm a Ravens fan, and yes, I was so happy and thrilled to know that, oh, wow, they're actually going to throw a bad call our way for once. But of course they reviewed it, and the Eagles got the ball back, got the game-winning touchdown. But that's not my problem. My problem was, where were all the pass interference calls that you didn't call? I mean, there's one where it happened right in front of you. The guy did it for about 15 yards, holding the guy all the way down the field, then gives him a little shove at the end, and then you have our coach, Mr. Harbaugh, in your face, barking at you like, "Are you stupid? Did you not see it? How could you not see it? I don't understand." And, you know, the Ravens fans sitting at home are actually in attendance are thinking the same thing. I don't see how you could not see that. And on top of that, what was with that interception that Flacco threw, and then the guy runs out of bounds, but apparently was blown dead. And all of a sudden, we couldn't find a spot. It took us like 15 minutes to find a stop. We had some black dude that looked like he was dressed for casual Sunday with his black jacket on, and he wouldn't even say anything. He would just motion refs to come over to him and be like, and it takes us like 30 minutes to get a spot. And then we finally get a spot and get back to the game, and the drive pretty much goes nowhere. I mean, I think the Eagles got a field goal out of it, but that's it. It wasn't really that important. There was an interception. That's all you really need to know. Actually, no, I think they got a touchdown to Mr. Macklin. But regardless, that's not the point. The refs are destroying the game right now. I mean, if the NFL is going to pride itself on integrity, honesty, and keeping the game as a whole centered around the good old days, you're disgracing it right now. It's disgusting. It's fraudulent. It's egregious, atrocious, all those words. Now, with that said, I hate the Steelers. I do. I'm a Ravens fan. It's my job to hate the Steelers. Good team, but I hate them. Here's my problem. Big problem. If you saw their game against the Jets, there was a pass interference call that was called on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I will tell you this right now. When it was called on the Steelers, all I could tell you was this. The only person who was doing pass interference on that play was Casper the Friendly Ghost. Because there was no one there. The guy caught it, took 1.5 steps, got hit really hard, and then the flag came out. Huh? He caught it and then had it, and then he got hit, and then all of a sudden this flag. I don't understand the lot. I don't like what ref. What did you see? Did you see Casper Friendly Ghost? Said, oh, scared. So I threw a flag. Well, I don't understand the logic here. But anyway, that's what happened. I hate the Steelers and Ben Rapelessberger because, I live in Georgia, so I got the inside scoop. What he did at the nightclub, yes, he's a rapist, but that's another story for another day. Now, moving forward, another call. Tampa Bay versus the Giants. You know how that game was going back and forth. Great game, right? So, Tampa Bay catches the ball on the sideline. He takes 2 steps, gets hit, but then he bobbles it and it falls out of his hands. Okay, I understand that. Fell out of his hands, so you want to call it a complete pass. But here's my problem. With these fraudulent refs, and the fact of how they reviewed it, how long it took them to review it and everything. Let's say we move that same catch to midfield. He catches it the same way, gets hit the same way, ball comes out. I guarantee you if a Giant would have jumped on that ball, that ref would have said, "First down, Big Blue Wrecking Crew, turnover." That's exactly what would have happened. Because the way they were talking about it, the way they were analyzing it, I could tell that just because it was on the sideline, that was the only reason why it was an incomplete pass. If it was in the middle of the field, they probably would have called it a fumble. Just saying. Now, regardless of what has been said about the refs so far, there's another thing. I despise the Patriots. I will never like the Patriots. I will never like, I take that back. I don't like Tom Brady because he ruined the game of football. Pretty much he made every quarterback just a free man behind the line of scrimmage, because if you so much as touch him, breathe on him wrong, or look like you're looking at his penis too hard, guess what? 15-yard penalty, personal foul, automatic first down. That's what's going to happen to your team. I've seen it. Regardless. Unless Casper the Friendly Ghost made a second appearance, well, actually, this would have been his first appearance, there was no holding call on that touchdown that they should have had to beat the Arizona Cardinals. It was absolutely disgusting. What are these refs doing? If you're going to pride yourself and try to force this integrity thing, NFL, make sure it goes all the way around. Don't have your refs being like this, because it's garbage. It's atrocious. Any NFL fan just wants to walk up to Mr. Goodell and be like, stop, you're dumb. This is stupid. Now, with that said, I'm going to jump to college football. SEC, look, SEC fans, I understand you love the SEC. I'm an SEC fan as well, but I gotta level with you guys. I think we're getting a little too arrogant, a little too cocky. But who can blame us with being 8-0, and the only team that can be able to beat us in the BCS championship is ourselves. But now, with that said, to you USC fans who are like, oh my God, USC is gonna make a comeback. Look, I knew you weren't gonna make a comeback because here's the thing. Just because Andrew Luck left Stanford doesn't make Stanford an obsolete team. Mr. Luck had pieces around him. He did. He legitimately had pieces around him that actually worked. Sure, they may not be the greatest team out there in college football, but I'll tell you what, when it comes to the Pac-10 and the high-scoring offenses that you guys have, yeah, they can hang with you. That's right, folks, they can hang with you. And their defense, sure, may not be that great, but it was enough to hold you guys to 14 points. And let me give all of you guys in the Pac-10 a history lesson, okay? Do you remember back 2 years ago when the mighty point-a-minute Oregon Ducks had a clash with the Auburn Tigers? Let me tell you something right now. The Auburn Tigers defense, yeah, we thought it was pretty good. But here's LSU's defense from last year. Here's Alabama's defense. It's all the way up at the sky. It might as well be promoted to the NFL. Like, if the Cleveland Browns need a backup defense, just call in the Alabama Crimson Tide. I'm telling you. But regardless, for all of you people who are like, Oklahoma State or Stanford should have been in the BCS National Championship game because you would have ran all over the field. No, you wouldn't have. You would have. You've been exposed. It would have been exposed for fraudulent behavior like Raging Reject TV. You would have been owned. Destroyed. Ripped apart from the inside. Because your offensive line would just be deteriorated by Alabama's just opposing force. And besides, you let inferior Iowa State, yes, I'm talking to you, Oklahoma State, you let inferior Iowa State come and beat you guys in overtime. Here's my problem with that. Oklahoma State, here's my problem with that. Alabama's offense is a little better than Iowa State's, but their defense is just immensely better than Iowa State. So, yeah, you only got 30-something points against Iowa State. I don't think you guys would have gotten 21 against Alabama. So, that's what I'm saying. You guys can't hold, your constants. That's right, your constant points per game and just translate that over to being better than, Alabama's points per game and be like, oh, we beat them. Because that's not how it works. Because let's face it, they got 15 against LSU's defense. Against your defense, they might have gotten 40. So that's all I'm trying to say. Another thing is, some people are like, oh, I don't believe you. That's fraudulent. Oh my God, you're stupid. You're exposed. We would have scored 40 points. Okay, remember the point-a-minute Ducks, as I said? Yeah, they only got 19 against Auburn, whose defense is less than Alabama and LSU's last year. Exposed. Okay, see what I'm saying? Not saying your teams are bad. I'm just saying they can't match up to the SEC. But to you SEC fans that are getting so arrogant and cocky that we're going to win and we're going to do... Is there a fly going near my camera? Are you serious? I ain't got time to play fly games, all right? Shoo, don't bother me. Mid-recording. I'm doing this live. Regardless, what I'm trying to say is, in the end, all of you SEC fans are like, we're going to win. Now, wasps are getting near me. I don't play that. Anyway, regardless, trying to finish up because it's the last line, and now all nature wants to screw me over. Now, that said, all you SEC fans who are like, yeah, we're going to win, we're the SEC, that's why we're so good. Look, you're not. Yes, we're great, and good things all come to an end. Look at Texas, look at Notre Dame, look at USC, but all I'm trying to say is this. Okay? Level with me. SEC man to SEC man or woman. Okay? When you talk about the SEC, you only talk about 4 teams. Alabama, LSU, Georgia, South Carolina, and the 5th one. There's always a 5th one. Last year was Arkansas. This year it looks like it's going to be Florida. But the rest of the teams that we have, the other 11, you guys are like, oh, yeah, they're okay. But they're in the SEC, so they're great. Don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure they're good, but they're not splendid. They're not spectacular. They're not going to steal the show. You're not going to expect Tennessee to just put it all over USC. It's not going to happen. But with that said, I'm the Black Prion, and that's my sports video.